We want to get some players who's going to buy into what we're doing, and yes, you question some stuff, but the first thing is, do they have the work ethics to come in and and do what we want to do? And as a group, the players, collectively, I think they've been working hard, and it's no surprise to me right now, but we got long, 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 long ways to go in this league.
Welcome to Red Stars Report, a podcast dedicated to bringing you the latest news and commentary on all things Chicago Red Stars, the #1 club in the NWSL currently. I'm your host, LT.
And I'm your co-host, Grant.
And Grant, all I have to say is Julia Bianchi. Julia Bianchi. This is why I have your jersey framed. Julia Bianchi. She is awesome. I really do love what we've seen from Julia this season. I can't get enough of it.
Like I said last time, silent killer. What more can you say at that point?
Yeah. Defensively, her and Carey, I think, have played pretty well together this season. Need to get their connections with the forwards cleaned up a little, but I am thoroughly impressed with their work rate offensively when the team is near the box. Both of them are just always in the right spot to get the ball in or outside of the box, up there. I have been singing Julia's praises since the moment that she stepped foot in America, and I could not be more happy for her rise this season so far. The first NWSL regular season goal that she scored one against the Mexican national team, the Olympico, which was also incredible. But such a cool moment. Her bow was amazing towards the fans, and I cannot believe that I got to experience her first goal in person. I am a huge fan of hers, and the club needs to secure her future immediately.
Yeah, I'm jealous you got to see that. I'm really jealous. But watching the game, I was like, wow, that would have just been, to just experience that and to see the joy. I feel like I missed out. I got FOMO.
I was screaming.
I'm sure you were.
We
should have got it on video.
Yes. I loved it. I was so happy. And of course, people were tagging me on the Discord being like, you must be so happy. I'm like, if you could hear me, I know you're a few rows away from me, but if you could hear me right now, you probably can hear me right now. I was screaming. I was so happy for her. It was such a cool thing to experience. And like I said, I was very glad I was there in person to see that, because I think she is very much a very big piece of the future for this club. So I want more. I just want more. I got one goal. Now I want more. Now I want more.
Golden Boot winner.
Golden Boot winner. Julia Bianchi. Here we go. One down.
Rising star of the Brazilian national team.
Which the flags. I have the flags now.
I don't even want to talk about the flags.
Let's talk about the flags. I have the flags. Every single player that's representative of a different country, as well as the United States, up on the shelf, including Brazil. Who's from Brazil? Julia Bianchi.
I see you got a German flag there too.
Yes. We could talk about Maxi Rall as well, who has been the surprise and joy of the season so far to me. I was really excited when she signed because of her height and her attacking prowess, but I was worried about her defensive work. I just wanted to temper my expectations since the last German that we signed. I got really excited about, and I don't think she made an impact on the club's performance much. Whether that was her or the coach's issue, I'm not sure. But I just wanted to not have that same situation where I got people excited about a player who was not going to make an impact. Um, However, I am just having a great time watching her play. So strong, such good instincts offensively, great in the air, a staggering improvement at her position when it comes to being able to defend set pieces. And I cannot express enough how important our new defenders have been when it comes to defending set pieces. They've been great, and Maxi's a big part of that.
I love the celebration pics that we've seen, especially from Gal Pal. Those are
Yeah.
epic. And just again with the pure emotion, like that's iconic of her, that celebration, I think. Just showing like LFG. Um, I'm just so excited. And I love that we have such amazing players that are dedicated to playing for the Chicago freaking Red Stars. You can see it in how they celebrate. You can see it with the fans. Everybody's excited. We had the biggest home opener in CRS history. It was like 5,400, I think it was. Um, so much going in, and just I kind of love Speechless a little bit.
Yeah, of course she has to go and cap off the night by getting a game winner with her first NWSL goal in her first match in front of Chicago fans. So cool. So composed on the ball, especially when the ball wasn't meant for her. Like to have that kind of positioning to like be in that spot and that the
Mhm.
right place, and just be so composed to bring that ball down and put it in the net. It's so awesome. So cool. So much fun to watch. I can't wait for more Maxi Rall.
Yeah, we don't need forwards to score. We can have our midfielders and defenders scoring,
And
and
we don't need
it's
our right
fine.
back playing much defense. We just throw her in the box every single
Yeah,
day.
I'm gonna have to list Maxi Roll as just every single position, so
It's funny. Funny you say that. We'll get to that. Uh, Now, as for the rest of the team, here are some of my thoughts. So far, I think that Sam Staub and Natalia Kuika are starting to show exactly who we expected them to be. Great defenders when the ball gets into their own half, great distributors of the ball from the back and in the attacking third, both with 80 plus percent passing accuracy in the match compared to the rest of the team, which was in like the 60s and 70s for each player. I'd say this is exactly what you want from them. And the fact that we had terrible possession numbers once again should tell you that their passing accuracy was not just inflated by them passing the ball between each other and holding up play. There were actual, like, legitimate passes that they were trying to get forward.
I think it was a good showing. I think again, as the season progresses, um, things will be tightened up. But I still think that the addition of both of them has just been phenomenal for us. And I'm excited to see, goal line clearances and stellar defending highlights from them throughout the year.
It would be really nice if we didn't have to see them make any highlight plays, though, right?
I do love a good highlight reel,
I do
though,
love a good highlight reel.
LT.
I like a good defensive highlight reel specifically, which no one makes, which
Yeah,
is disappointing. But I
gotta
just
get on
mean
that.
that if the ball isn't in the box to have these cool defensive highlights, that means no one's scoring goals. So
defenders aren't perfect.
no, of course not. No, I'm not saying that
Yeah, I know.
they're, because I think they're playing very well. Them two
Yeah.
specifically. Like, if the ball is getting by the midfield, if it's getting by the wings, like Sam and Natalia were there all match to save everybody. Natalia did have the header out of the box, the clearance that did lead to Seattle's goal, which is very unfortunate. But other than that, I thought she played a great match. Like, you want those defenders that are just like, you want like a flashy defender like Sam, who just like seems to be there all the time, very flashy plays, very noticeable. But then you also, on the other side, want a player like Natalia Kuika, who defensively is not incredibly flashy, but just makes the right play and makes it quietly. Like,
Now that you bring that
that's
up, I literally have not noticed
yeah,
Natalia Queen on
that's
the
what I'm
field.
saying. That's what I'm saying. Like, because she's so on it, like, she's not playing poorly,
Yeah.
and yet you're not noticing her. It's just because she's doing her job.
I was like, where is she?
She's not saving people's lives from from a ball that gets past another midfielder or defender like Sam has. She's not making these crazy uh, tackles, diving saves, getting the ball cleared in crazy ways. Like, she's just doing her job. She's doing it well. She's very composed while doing it. And that's exactly what you want. I think just in general, like, it's very Tierna Davidson like. Like, she it just does her job. She does it well. And you just hope that there aren't moments that show up where she has to make these flashy plays because that's not who she is. When she does, it's cool. But as long as she's just doing her job, I'm all for it.
Another silent killer.
And her flashy plays can be offensively. When she gets up there, like, I think statistically she's like created the most chances offensively for us, which is crazy because also kind of silently has been doing that. But yeah, a mark difference from last week to this week, both of them. Like, last week, I thought they played well, but not to their what I thought their like potential was um, early on, like early potential. Obviously, they still haven't even reached the potential that they could possibly get to because they still haven't built that chemistry all the way up. They still haven't built that chemistry with Nair yet either. But what I expected from them the first week, I think they're at now. Um, just making great plays and doing their job well.
Progress.
And I got to witness like 3 or 4 of Sam Staub's long throw-ins in person, like right there in front of my face, just like a couple rows ahead of me. Um, those are a thing of beauty to watch in person. Like, let me tell you, I I was just like, kick the ball out over here so I can continue to watch Sam throw the ball in, please.
Just, I wish I was able to do that. Just to get it so far,
I know,
like
right?
an incredible amount of skill.
It is incredible. And I will have you know that I did buy Sam Staub's jersey. I made my choice. It was
You
Sam.
didn't wear it today?
It's not
Oh, you
here yet.
didn't.
No.
Oh, I thought maybe they had customization at the game. Thinking
No.
too highly of the Red Stars.
Nope. They just were selling blanks. So
Boring.
they were just selling the blank ones. I didn't pay too close attention to the people in the stadium, but I don't know if I saw anybody wearing the blank ones. Um, so I don't know how many people actually purchased those. But
Nobody.
But yes, I gotta say I'm Staub one. I'm very excited because I will absolutely rep her on the back of my kit this year. That's the easy choice, super easy choice.
I think I'm gonna wait until my pick gets playing time before I decide to
I told you about
buy a
this.
jersey.
Told you about this. Speaking of your pick not getting playing time, I think that Taylor Malum did have a better match than the last one. She had the assist on that Maxi Rall goal, which was intended to meet the head of Ali Schlegel, but a dangerous ball in the box is the least that you can ask for, and she did just that. The left side of our team, our offense, is just non-existent at this point, which is probably why Mal isn't playing left winger anymore, really, because the ball would never make it to her. Taylor, Carrie, Nadia, like their connection right now is not great. However, Coach Donaldson pointed out in post match that she's Taylor Malum is a very good 1v1 defender, which I've seen glimpses of. I'm not still like blown away by that part of her game. I really hope she gets much better as the season goes on. She had a great moment in the box in like the 70th minute or 72nd, 73rd, one of those. Getting the ball away from Haitama, her and Sam like pinched her and in the box, and it was really really nice play that saved a potential goal. She made some other important runs like that one specifically, like in recovery to get the ball away from Seattle, breaking our lines. So thank you, Taylor, for having a decent match. Congratulations on your first professional assist. It was awesome. Um, please keep it up because I want our defense to be good this season and I don't want to give up 50 goals.
I'm still not impressed. But again, who am I to judge?
Just two people that own mics. That's
Yeah.
what we are.
I mean, here's my thing. I think the biggest part of being a defender is the 1v1. And if you can't show that on the field, then we've got a problem. I feel like she just gets beat too easily sometimes. I don't know. That's how I feel as of right now, but it's only been 2 games. I'm still waiting to be impressed. I am really hard to impress. I'll give you that. And I do have a bias, but biases can change.
Yeah.
So there's that for you.
I think it's also hard to go from watching a player like Tatum, who is a very flashy defender and makes those flashy saves and flashy tackles and flashy blocks, like we were talking about, to Taylor Malum, who is more on the technical side of defending and isn't as flashy. But like I said, she had a pretty good game for the most part. And if she can keep playing better, she should stay there. Like it's as simple as that. If she keeps beating out the other players who are fighting for that left back spot, because there are a lot of fullbacks on this team, and we've only seen these two fullbacks specifically, which is interesting. Maybe in matches that are less close, we'll see other defenders rotated in. But for now, I think these are the four that Lauren's going to stick with. Yeah.
I guess I trust him.
Yeah. I mean, I trust him too. If someone like new coach comes in like a couple years ago when Chris came in and just kind of kept the status quo. Clearly, it didn't work. Like, it seemed as if players could not fight for starting spots. There was no competition in training. It seemed like it was just, these are the people that are used to being here and are used to being on the club, and we'll just keep them in the starting 11 because that's what we know. Then Lauren comes in, fresh pair of eyes, someone who has coached for years, is very good at it, and he picked the 11 players that he thought were best for the team. And 2 wins, not very good wins. Like, there's a lot to clean up. And like, if you just look at like the stat comparisons, that's why soccer's so great. Like, you can have all these losses in like every single column of every single stat and still win the game. It's just the way how it is. It's just the nature of the game. And there's a lot of things that this club is not doing well right now. And if other players could do those things better, then hopefully the coach sees that and gets them in there.
I mean, I am interested in seeing our next lineup for it's against Orlando, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think it's going to be
the same, except Penelope comes back.
If Penelope clears concussion, she'll come back. If not, I think you'll see Jenna again. And it'll be the same people. I just feel that way because of how week 1 to week 2 went. Like, they did not play super well week 1, and then he kept the same starting 11 for week 2, minus Penelope because of her concussion. But they once again like played better, but still not fantastic. Got the win again, though. So if you're winning, you just keep the consistency of the players. He even used the same bench players, minus starting Jenna. He used Ava Cook. He used Sarah Griffith. He used Allie Cook. Like, it's the same
and now
players. Now Nesbeth, yes, but I think that probably would not have happened. It probably just would have been the same subs if Penelope, because then Jenna would have been that instead. And I think Julia and Carrie probably would have stayed in. Either way.
I'm not convinced on that left side, though. That's my only thing.
And that's something that we should talk about, because the forwards specifically, I thought were good in moments, but still like not a lot of good things. Overall, I think there's a lot to work on. Obviously, last year's super sub, Jenna Bike, got the call for the starting 11. Like we said, with Penelope's concussion, I thought, like, regardless of the stat sheet, I thought Jenna played a pretty decent game at times. Very like tenacious attacker, relentless when she's defending. Just the kind of speed from a player that you want replacing Penelope, because they have very similar speeds. Her ability to get around defenders on that flank, make the correct like overlapping runs with Maxi and everything. It was pretty cool, pretty good. Like, she was in the same spot like every time, getting those same runs down the right side, getting the ball, getting around the defender, and getting crosses into the box. That's what you want from your right winger. It's exactly what you want. Her crosses were dangerous. They led to chances, even if none of them like directly led to a goal and getting an assist. But as I said before, a dangerous ball in the box even if it doesn't hit the intended target, is still a chance. There's still a chance to make an impact. And one of her crosses eventually made its way around the box and led to that goal by Julia. So, like, effective. She's a good player, may not have had the best game of her career, or that you'll get out of her, and certainly struggled at times, especially with passing the ball. But I'm glad that the club kept her, and I'm glad that Lauren has put his faith in her as like this first off the bench kind of player.
And I think that's a good role for her too. I think that's
Yeah.
honestly a perfect situation for the Red Stars.
Yeah. As much of a fan of hers as I am starting to like seeing her play like a full 90, which is really awesome. Um, I do think maybe she is best as like a late match super sub coming off the bench. Um, Maybe not a starting right winger, or at least not over Penelope. I think Penelope also still has like a lot of work to do. Um, but yeah, I think Jenna played a pretty decent game, and then down the rest of the line, Nadia Gomes got the start again after a decent opening match. Um, like I said earlier, that left side isn't really providing much offensively. She's been good in the press to win the ball at times. She had some pretty good moments in those, winning the ball in their own or in the attacking half of the field. But I think it may be time to start Ava there over her. I I'm all about giving people chances and them proving themselves. But I think maybe Nadia was not ready to be a full on starter for this club. I think a experienced player like Ava should probably start the match.
Yeah. I mean, I honestly thought coming into this season that Ava was gonna be starting. And surprises happen, like with Taylor Malum starting and now with Nadia starting. But I just think that I don't know what it is. It's really hard to describe, but Ava just has that energy that you need. Um, and she's had two great appearances so far off the bench. And I feel like if I'm Lauren, I'm starting her against Orlando.
Yeah,
That's just how I see it.
that's how I see it too. Nadia, great player, great story. I think she has a lot of potential, but I think in this moment, it's probably better for um, a more experienced player to be in the starting 11. Someone who has been there, someone who's scored multiple goals in that position. That she's already like Ava already scored this year. I think she had like 4 goals last year. Um, Maybe 3 goals. She's been there. She's played well. She's been there. She's developed a lot. Ava looks very different, I think, this year than she did last year. She really seems like she's improved her game a lot. And I think she should be rewarded for that.
Yeah. I think based off these past two games, probably deserves or earned the starting role more than Nadia, and I think they should just flip roles. I don't think Nadia should just be benched.
Sure.
I think that she should come on
Yeah,
for Ava
absolutely.
later in the game.
Yeah, still
So
play. Like, she's a good player. She should still get minutes. I'm not saying
yeah,
bench her like she's done like after 2 games. I'm just saying um she just I think Ava would be a better starter, or maybe even Sarah Griffith would be a better starter to get you 60 minutes, to get you 70 minutes, and then throw Nadia out there for the rest of the match.
yeah, late
But
game
like I
press,
said,
she's gonna score, I think, if you throw her into that situation instead of having her play for the
yeah,
first hour of the game.
yeah, and I don't know, like I don't think it's entirely like her fault that she isn't
Yeah.
producing. The ball just is not going to that side of the field. Uh, but it seems like it is when Ava's out there, which is really just like Ava's work rate to be so effective going back defensively and then pushing forward. It's what she's kind of always done. She probably took notes from Mal early in her career. I just think that may be the better choice. And then staying on that line, like Ali Schlegel, I thought looked good defensively, like in the press and everything, but her pace seemed to slow down late in the first half and throughout the second half. Didn't see the same like incredibly energetic Ali that I'm used to seeing. She just, I don't think, had a fantastic game, and that's okay. She'll get back to her old ways here soon enough. But um, yeah, I thought she was good in the press. She had some good moments defensively, uh, but at times just seemed like a little too slow, especially on that run by Mal that was like going right down the middle of the pitch, and Ali like cuts over to the right side and Mal put a ball like right to the back of her feet. I It's like she just looked like, I don't know if it's just in comparison to like how crazy is it that Mal like with the ball is faster than someone without the ball. Like that's just such a weird comparison. Like watch Mal outpace someone who doesn't have to control the ball in front of them as well. It's just wild to watch. But yeah, going from Ali scoring that goal in the first match to really not making a whole big like showy presence in this match was a difference, a noticeable difference. But like I said, she'll go back to being Ali here soon.
Yeah, I'm not worried at all. It
No,
was a little
absolutely not.
weird to see that she wasn't probably on the same level as she was in the Utah game. But yeah, I'm not worried. I think it's probably a one game thing and she'll be fine next week.
Yeah, she'll be fine. I She'll be the starter again, and she'll just go back to doing what she does, I'm sure. But the last person, Mal, boy, what do you even say about Mallory Swanson?
Built
She looks
different.
she looks great. Makes great runs with the ball at her feet, like I just mentioned. And then Lauren goes into the post-match presser and says that she's not even in form yet, and he doesn't even expect her to be in form until like match 5 or 6. I mean, if Mal isn't in form right now and is playing this well, I am scared for the teams that we have coming up on the schedule.
You can't even say anything because it's just like what she went 83 this time or
Yeah,
85 or something like that.
something
Yeah,
around there.
it's over for all of you. I'm just saying, it's so over. We are so back. It is so over for you.
Yeah, the
That's all I
impact
got.
that she's having on these matches is exactly what the club needs right now. Like 80 plus minutes played in each of her first 2 matches back from 3 surgeries and a life-threatening infection. I'd say that she is superhuman, but I'm not quite sure that she's even human from this planet with that kind of recovery power. Like, it's just beautiful to see. Like, Lauren just being like, I didn't even expect her to play in the first match, and here she is doing 80 minutes plus in both matches. That's crazy. That's wild.
And she's been wreaking havoc on the field, and she's not even scoring. And I think, like I said last week, she doesn't need to be doing any of that. Like, she is just so good all around that, sure, it is awesome to see Mal Swanson score. But I think something even more important is trying to set up her teammates, or, her awesome defensive abilities. There's just so much more to her than scoring, and I think being able to see that these past 2 games has been amazing. And yeah, she's not even she's not even in form, allegedly. But it's just so great to have her on the field, and I'm excited for that first goal. I know it's coming soon.
Yeah, I mean, the fact that she's not scoring, I think, is less to do with her form and more so just the amount of help she's getting around her. Like, she isn't getting the ball as much as she could be getting it. Uh, when she does have the ball, she's not being surrounded by the help that she should be getting surrounded by. So she, once again, is kind of just having to try to create on her own. And it's what I don't want to see, but it's happening. And she could have scored. Like, if she got a goal and then Lauren was still like, she's not in form, that would be even crazier. But like, she could have scored. It's not like she's not scoring because she's not 100% yet. She can score. She will score before she's at 100%. It just has not happened yet. That's all.
Watch out, everybody.
Watch
Mal's
out.
coming for you.
And like Lauren said, like, she puts fear into these next teams, and she does. It's just who she is. Like, I would not want to be on another team as a defender and see Chicago on and see Chicago on the schedule and be like, "Oh, I have to mark Mal? Great."
Have fun.
Lovely. I mean, I'm sure NWSL defenders are more confident than that, and are certainly more confident than I am, but I would not specifically be confident going up
Yeah.
against Mal. Me as an actual person would not be confident at all going up against Mal. None of us should
Same
be.
here.
She would destroy all of us. And she destroys professional soccer players. So yeah, fear Mal, fear the Chicago Red Stars when Mal's at 100%, fear them when she's not at 100%, because her at 70% is still better than dozens of players at 100%.
Hear us now because we're in first place.
Yes, we're in first place. Who knows how long that'll last, but for now, we get to boast about it. And
Stop the count.
yeah, stop the count, end the season, give us the shield. Thank you very much. A name that we do need to talk about briefly, as brief as her appearance was, I think, is Leilani Nesbitt. The NWSL debut of the first round draft pick this year for the club. An important moment for someone who is being looked at as like the future in this new era. She looked good, trying to get her pro legs under her. I hope we see more of her moving forward. She just kind of like the only thing, like really like noticeable thing that I kind of saw was she just always wanted to be on the ball, like wherever the ball was. She was like, I am going to get that ball, regardless of who was in that area. And she met her own teammates like near the ball constantly. And she just wanted the ball. She wanted to play. She wanted to get out there. She was very excited. I'm sure you could see it. But yeah, that was the one thing that I noticed. Like she was just right, like shoulder to shoulder with one of her teammates a lot, wherever the ball
Nice
was.
shot over the goal too.
She did have a nice shot over the goal. Yeah, that's true. Very BSG like.
Yeah.
Of course, BSG has to go to North Carolina and actually bury some goals, and it's like, come on, what are you doing? Couldn't bury those for
Anyway,
us. Hey, she buried some. I'm just playing. So just overall, in general, I thought the team once again was poor in possession, and I can't exactly pinpoint why. I don't have the eyes for the game like that. And their passing was subpar outside of their two center backs, which I'm sure is partially the reason for the possession stat. But it's not everything, and also stats aren't everything, even though I like to make them everything because I'm a nerd. Uh, they just uh, they just keep attempting like so many like long passes, long balls over the top that go nowhere to no one, and I can't make any sense of it. But the stats specifically in the first two matches point to those probably potentially being losses, but because the sport of soccer is amazing, they were wins. And I'm not quite sure what needs to change to help them get more shots on goal or have more possession or get a higher passing accuracy, but it needs to happen before they play a club that'll expose them. Like it really, really needs to happen before they play a club that'll expose those weaknesses.
don't you just wish that you could increase team chemistry so quick?
Yes. Yes, I do. This is it's fun to win. It's very
Yeah.
fun to win. I love it. I'm very excited. I'm shocked that I'm sitting here able to do a podcast the day after that match and I didn't lose my voice because I was yelling, especially at the refs a lot. Because that's who I am.
I'm
uh,
the same way.
but like wins wins are wins, but I really want them to start seeing like dominant wins, like good wins, like wins that you watch and you go like they absolutely should have won that game and they did. These were not that. like like Seattle, I think more so was a match that was like it felt like things were going our way and they won, which is good. The Utah one was very much like ugh, like things seem to be going Utah's way, but Alyssa Nair is just dominating them and blocking everything that goes her way, and then we won. like it's very different kinds of matches when you look at them. So I think it'll be even more exciting when they win a match that is very decisive. But overall, I think the mentality of this team, like their defense starts in the front and ends in the back. Like that mentality is working for them. The forwards look dedicated to stopping anything from forming from the opposing side's back line. And I think it's a great mentality for them to have. and whatever Lauren is like instilling in them is leading to wins. So like, yes, you can nitpick and like complain about certain things, but they're winning. So we can just be happy because they're winning, and hopefully they get another win next week.
Yeah, I think Orlando is going to be a nice test, I think, to see if we can make it 3 in a row.
Yeah.
I'm not too worried, but again, I really do want to see actual change in the lineup. Um, will that happen? I don't know. It'd be nice. We heard about team rotation. Where is it? Because I think those late game subs don't really count, especially with the timing of everything. I mean, halftime sub is one thing, but as you get later on in the game, I don't really think of that as rotation. So I actually want to see rotation against Orlando, um, specifically on the left side.
Yeah.
But I'm not Lauren. I don't get to decide what's up. So we'll see.
Yeah. I don't know if the left side just doesn't look great in the attack because they just don't, that's just not their plan. Like it just seems like their plan is to go down the right side with Mal and Allie and
We'll just
Maxi
take
and
the left
Julia
side off the field then.
and then like defensively the ball doesn't go to their left side often because their players on the left side never have the ball to be like dispossessed, and then there's no transition on that side. So you don't see much of Nadia or Taylor in defense. Just like moments here and there when the ball is actually on that side, specifically when like Bethany Balser got the ball on that side. But yeah, I think you're right. Like there needs to be some sort of rotation. I think specifically, like I mentioned before, with Nadia and whoever would replace her. I just want to see something different there, just to see if it like the connection or the passing or the runs or anything will get better on that side. I I don't know if it will happen, but just to see something change, I think would be nice. But like I said, they're winning, so I don't expect change.
It's too bad.
Yeah. But I was thinking this on my drive home, and then I saw a few others mention it when I got home, including my buddy Larry, who I talk to on on Instagram about the club sometimes with, and he listens to the podcast. And we were talking about the fact that the club has 4 goals in 2 matches by 4 different players, and none of them are named Mallory Swanson. Like, that should tell you everything you need to know about the difference between last season and this season, because they were not doing that last season. They had goals last season, and only one of those goals was Mallory's, but that's because she wasn't there the entire season. But if she was there throughout the season, it would have just been her scoring a lot. But the fact that she's on the field, hasn't scored, and the club has 4 goals in 2 games, very good. Very good,
Yeah.
especially because it's not just coming from 1 or 2 players. It came from 4 different players, and a defender, a midfielder, forwards. Like, that's good. It's very good. 2
Good
forwards, a
job, Red
midfielder,
Stars.
and a defender are getting goals for you. Like that's
Yeah.
what you want to see. That's just exactly what you want to see. But just on Seattle specifically, uh, Ji So-yun, a menace.
Legend.
A menace. I'm glad that like Julia could somewhat slow her down in this match, because without Julia, I think she would have trampled us.
She was cooking.
Yeah. Containing Bethany Balser the easiest task, and never is the easiest task in the world either. But Sam and Natalia did their job to keep her contained, and that was good. But Seattle seems to be struggling a lot offensively to start the season, and I think that G has been their most impactful player, which was no different in this match against Chicago. First time the team has won their first 2 matches of the season in club history. And OptaStats shared that it's the first time that team that finished in last place in the previous season has started the season with 6 points in 2 matches, which is awesome. And regardless of the results of this match, that's happening. It's probably over by now, but between Gotham and Portland, while we're recording this, the Red Stars finished week 2 on top of the league table. There we go. You looking at the score?
Yeah, I'm waiting to see if Twitter's gonna show me the score or not.
I'm sure it's something. Let's find out. Nope, we're in added time. Gotham's up 1-0. So probably a Gotham win. Doesn't matter. Chicago's number 1. We're number 1. We're number 1.
Stop the count.
Stop the count. Just like last week, I took a couple more questions from the Discord from community members. And so here are their questions. Boog asked, if you had a team of 11 Maxis, would they beat a team of 11 Julias? That is a great question,
No.
Boog.
I don't think so.
Thank you for that. Why don't you think so?
Julia's just built different.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think that Julia's defensive abilities would shut down Maxi. But Maxi is like 5'11, 5'10, 5'11. And I bet you any money that she can play keeper. I don't know if
Lauren,
Julia
we
can
need to
play
see.
keeper. I don't know if Julia can play keeper. So will Julia's keeper be able to keep out Maxi Rall's goals? Or will Maxi Rall be able to effectively defend Julia's attacking abilities? I don't know. I think it's a great question. And I think it's Julia. I like to believe that it's Julia because I don't think that they're on the same level currently. But I really would fear, just based on her mentality, I really do fear that a Maxi Rall goalkeeper would be able to dominate.
I still think that this would be a Julia win.
I think so too.
I feel very confident in that, actually.
I think we should have goalkeeper wars with Maxi Rall and Julia Bianchi.
Or you know what we could do, actually? If we could finagle our way to a FIFA simulation, or sorry, EAFC simulation.
We could do that.
I would like to see the results of that.
Oh, that would be funny. That'd be great.
Red Starts report on Twitch.
Yeah, let's add one more thing. But isn't it just kind of cool to think about the fact that we're sitting here talking about 2 international players who are making an impact on the Chicago Red Stars? Like, we've talked
Internationals on the Red Stars.
I know. We've been talking all off season about our internationals and the amount of internationals. This is why that we had the flag discussion. This is why I purchased these flags, so I could proudly represent all of the internationals that we have on this club. Now, a couple of them are not with the club anymore, but there's still a ton. I mean, look at that. That's crazy. And the fact that they're making an impact is awesome. I think it's so cool. We don't usually have many internationals outside of US players representing their, not just their nationality in general, but are actually capped for their nations, play for their national team clubs, and have experience in big tournaments and World Cups and everything. It's a big difference between years past and now. And I think it's really cool that we get to celebrate that.
We love our internationals.
We do. We do. We really do. So another question that was asked by Ocelot9 on Discord. Thank you for the question. What are two things from the first games that you would have the club keep doing? And then what are two things that you would have them change? Would you like to go, or would you like me to go?
I mean, I feel like we already discussed this.
Kinda.
Unless you have differing opinions. I mean, honestly,
Let's start with keep. What would you just have them keep doing?
keep. I think we should keep Maxi Rall in her position, and not start anyone over her. Um, and another thing that I liked is, I think the midfield is solid, and I don't think we should really change that unless it's absolutely necessary.
Yeah, I would say, yeah, my two things would be keep getting the ball to Julia. I just love everything about what she's doing right now, and I wouldn't change it. And I also wouldn't change anything about our central defensive structure with Sam and Natalia, two brilliant players who know when they can move forward and when they need to stay organized. And I just want them to keep doing what they're doing. And I did notice a lot in this match. And then when I went back and watched the first match again as well, whenever Sam or Natalia get up there in the other half of the field to go on the attack, it's always Carrie who fills in at center back. And she's played center back in her career before. So it's not something that's new to her. So I just thought that was a neat thing to notice, that like she's been the one that fills their space when they go on the attack. And I think that's really important to keep watching to see how effective Carrie can be in that center back position when the center backs are out of position.
Yeah, I didn't notice that.
I
That's okay.
like when I rewatch matches, I tend to focus, like I take points of time and just focus on like one player. And I was just watching Carrie stay back and then move into that center back position when either Sam or Natalia were playing higher up. And it's just something I noticed.
Good to know.
The things that we would change, I would say just number one, you and I already discussed it, probably pulling Nadia out of the starting 11 and replacing her, right? You would also add Taylor to that.
I don't know. I I'm conflicted. Um,
Like I said, I'll just cover this, forget the bias.
you know what? Honestly, I'm gonna say this now, and I'm not changing my mind, and I'm not gonna get outed like I was in the Jersey thing. I want to see Taylor Mellum start in the next 3 games, because I think, because if Lauren says she's a great 1v1 defender, we might get to see that, with these next couple of
Yeah.
games.
Yeah.
So I'm hoping that she stays, and I don't want to see that change. I will say, if I do want to see one thing change, I want to see maybe a switch of positions up front, just to mess around with something. Just let's explore somebody in a different spot. I don't know if these players have that experience. I don't know about them that well, but maybe switching Mal and Allie or putting Mal back on the left. Let's see different options because why the hell not? And that's where I'm going to stop right there.
Yeah, the forwards kind of, or at least Mal and whoever's playing on the left side kind of swap a lot. In this match specifically, Jenna was playing forward sometimes, but she was playing really far back a lot, which she's used to. She started her professional career with Gotham as a fullback and then kind of like a wing back for us, and now a right winger. So she's had a lot of different positions. Um, but yeah, they kind of do like a flat four sometimes with those four forwards, and then sometimes the outside forwards move back in the midfield, and then it's like a 4-4-2, and then they kind of swap depending on what formation they're kind of in. I would like to see maybe someone else kind of get in there, get some minutes, which was not why it was nice to see Jenna, because like what she can do in that position, that was different than Penelope. So yeah, I would agree with that as well. I think that is something that I would change. It's just something different up front, because clearly it's not working entirely based on how not fantastic it's going with the whole shots on goal and everything.
Yeah. Let's see that squad rotation, Lauren. Let's see it. Not Taylor Mellon, though.
Not
Don't
Taylor
do
Mellon.
that. Bias is gone.
So you buy that jersey. Uh,
I haven't, my bank account is so honestly, it might be a birthday gift at this point,
sure.
and I'm just gonna say to my family, pick a random person.
Really? Do they know
I it
soccer?
no,
Oh, okay. That'll be fun.
no. Pick any player. I'd proudly wear it. Watch ends up being like Mel Swanson.
Oh, right. Yeah. I do love a lot of this team, though. I would not be
Yeah.
unhappy with any player's name on the back of my jersey. I do love a lot of these players. I think they're an exciting group. So,
Yeah, I'm proud to rep. I just feel like
absolutely.
Mal is everyone's choice. That's why I'm kind of like
Yep.
I want to be different than
I
everybody.
have her national team. I stick with her jerseys on the national team side.
Yeah.
I don't do club for her. I just stick with the like that's my national team choice. And then I do club other names.
Mm-hmm.
So,
Solid choice.
but let's move on to next week. So now the club moves into week 3, where they will travel to Orlando. Orlando has drawn its first 2 matches of the season. I'm a little surprised by that. I thought they would kind of be dominating the league right now, but with 3 players on the season ending injury list and Rafa with an injury of her own that's kept her out as well, the club just isn't in top form right now. To draw their first 2 matches must have been like a blessing, because they could have easily lost both of those games and started this season off entirely on the wrong foot.
Yeah. I mean, I watched that Louisville game, and honestly, they're lucky that they got a goal because I thought Racing was doing an okay job for the most part. I did not watch the other game. Um, I did see Marta's reaction, and I think it's funny, and I have it bookmarked in my tweets, and I hope one day I'll be able to use that to
Nice.
express frustration for something.
That's awesome.
Um, I think that this will be an interesting matchup. I'm not really familiar with Orlando's squad, but I will say
A lot of Brazilians.
there is a lot of Brazilians. Let's make sure Marta doesn't score. I think that's priority number 1. I think priority number 2 is to have a 5th different goal scorer. I'm hoping that somebody else decides, hey, maybe Carrie. That'd be
Yeah.
great. Throw
Maybe
it out
Sam
there.
Staub.
Manifest. Yeah.
That'd
Free
be
kick
fun.
goal.
Yeah. Maybe Mal.
But she's not in form, though. I'm messing.
Sarah Griffith scored her first goal, I believe, of her career against Orlando. Maybe she'll get in there and score one. Maybe.
Squad rotation.
I don't know.
Represent.
Maybe Ali
There you
Cook will get
go.
one. Maybe somebody else. Maybe Natalia. Maybe Taylor. I don't know. That'd be
Alyssa
cool.
Nair.
Maybe Alyssa Nair. I still maintain that she'll get a goalkeeper assist this year. Think it'll happen.
Yeah,
Want it
I
to
think
happen.
it's very likely.
I think it'll happen. Especially with Mal running down the pitch.
National
But
team represent.
Alyssa's never been like super fantastic at distribution with her feet. She's always been incredibly good with distribution with her arms. Like the way she whips that ball in is amazing. But kicking, not entirely her strong suit. But she can boot it. Absolutely.
Yeah.
It's just not always incredibly accurate.
You just have to manifest.
Yes,
That's
of
all we
course.
got to do.
I'm not here to be critical of my hero. I am just saying that maybe the goalkeeper assist will have to come from her throwing the ball a very long distance.
Chuck
Yep.
it across the field like that.
They're like, throw it like Sam Stop.
Overhead throw. Down the field. There's Malpew. Goal.
Around ball. Around the keeper. I'll never forget Mike Watts' call at that Kansas City goal. I'll never forget it. But yeah, Orlando specifically. We'll be looking for their first win, and we'll have the advantage being at home, of course. So I would not look to Orlando by any means of being a club like Utah or Seattle who could not capitalize on Chicago's mistakes and their lack of possession. Orlando is decent in possession, and I'm sure if Chicago doesn't clean things up, they will dominate possession. So expect a tougher challenge from Orlando, I think, especially with Marta and Angelina, who are just dominant. But yeah, missing Rafa, who got injured in the Gold Cup, will be something that the Red Stars need to take advantage of. She's a fantastic center back, and if Chicago's forwards can hit their stride next week, look out, Orlando. You're in trouble without Rafa.
You will feel it.
And you will feel it. I hope they will feel it. I want another win. I want another win.
3 in a row.
3 in a row. Let's also build up that goal differential so we don't have to tie with anybody for first or get past in goal differential. I think they might even be leading in goal differential right now. Yeah. Because I think they're up.
We're in first, right?
So I think they're up by 3. I think they're +3. Because Kansas City is +2, I think. So let's do it. Let's get
Goal
some
differential
goals.
haunts the Orlando pride.
Come on, Julia Bianchi, Golden Boot winner. Let's get some more. And I told you, I told everyone that her first goal would be a banger, and it was.
It was.
I said it would be a banger at the top of the box. Boom, banger, top of the box.
Manifesting
I was so
worked.
happy. It only took like 2 years or a year. It only took like a year, but it worked. I don't remember if I said that on the podcast or in the Discord or on Twitter. I'm not going to go back and look at other
I don't have a
podcasts.
great memory, so
Yeah. If I said it on the podcast and I was like really dedicated, I would go back and try to find it and then I'd put a clip here, but I'm not going to do that.
it's not like when you put confetti in, so
That's a little different. I don't have to
yeah.
watch myself back for the second time. Uh, but yeah, there were two things that I wanted to talk about before we wrap things up for this episode. The first thing that I wanted to say was being at the home opener in person was such a joy. Like Grant said earlier, the largest crowd in Chicago's home opener history, which was, you could feel it. The energy was great. The players mentioned that the energy was great. Everyone was very loud. 134 was great. And I got to meet a lot of the people from our Discord community, and it was really awesome to finally meet some of you. Hopefully, more of you can come out with us at halftime the next time that you're at a match. Also, a special shout out to Eddie in our Discord, Eddie, the giant librarian, as he refers to himself, for giving me his ticket to the VIP event afterwards, which was a meet and greet with Tatum Malazzo and B. Franklin. I've talked to Tatum a lot before, so it was just nice to chat with her again. And I hadn't had the opportunity to meet B in person yet, so that was great. Apparently, her whole family listens to the podcast, so shout out to B and the rest of the Franklin family for checking out
That is
us
awesome.
us each week to keep up with the club. I really do love hearing that. So shout out to you guys. You guys are
That is
great.
amazing.
It is great. It's amazing. I love hearing that um a player's family comes to us, which is that's really neat. I like that a lot. It's cool.
I am jealous about the meetup. I apologize that I wasn't there. I was in Ohio, and
I had two
Indiana.
tickets too.
Next time, okay?
Next time.
Next time. I'll be there next time. Hopefully. I can't make any promises, okay?
I don't think that I'm going to be at the next home open or home match.
Yeah, home
So
opener.
yeah, home opener. The next home opener I will be at. I will be at that one next year. I promise you that.
Next home match. I don't even
I think
know
it's
the
April 13th.
date.
Yeah. April 13th.
I don't even know. Listen,
Oh,
between school in King County and River Lake and my own mental health, we will see um when I can go to a game. But hopefully it's soon, and I cannot wait to interact with folks from the Discord.
yeah. I also got to talk to Gretchen, the club's photographer, which was lovely. Such a cool person. Takes amazing photos each week, including that one that I got with Ava and the Pine Cone last season. That's how Gretchen and I originally met, which I'll put up on the screen if you're watching on YouTube. What a journey I had with that pine cone last year. If you don't know that story, just search pine cone on our socials. I'm sure a lot of that content will show up. But shout out to Gretchen for taking that photo and just being a really awesome photographer for the club. And it does suck that you couldn't be there though, Grant. I really would have loved for you to meet some of the people that are in our really dedicated community. They were awesome. So it was always really fun to chat with them, and you'll meet them eventually. And and yeah, so it was good.
Next
All
time.
around great weekend.
You had fun, I had fun, everybody had fun.
Yeah.
So much fun to go around.
Yep. The last thing that I wanted to mention was that the NWSL announced the new Summer Cup, which will be taking place during the Olympic break this year. The league will have a full on tournament with group stages kicking off in July. All 14 NWSL clubs and the top 6 clubs of Liga MX Femenil will compete. So Chicago's in Group D with Gotham, Washington, and Guadalajara. The first group stage match is against Gotham on Saturday, July 20th at SeatGeek Stadium. Second match is against Guadalajara on Friday, July 26th at SeatGeek Stadium as well. And then the final group stage match will be played against Washington on Wednesday, July 31st at Audi Field. So really cool concept that the league kind of came up with. Sad for players that they won't actually have a break during the Olympic break. That just seems to be the nature of this league. Hopefully some fresh players who don't see a lot of minutes will get into those matches and our starters can get some much needed rest at that point. But yeah, cool concept. I'm excited to watch more soccer as other soccer is happening during the Olympics.
I don't even know what to say. Like, it's giving Challenge Cup vibes. I don't want any injuries. That's my biggest fear, but that's a topic for another episode.
Yeah, that's a good point, which is why I kind of I'd rather see the non-starters playing those matches just to prove it's just a good opportunity to prove what they can do to the coaches. And that's why, as much as crazy as it was and how ridiculous as it was, I didn't mind the Challenge Cup being prior to the season because it was just like a preseason. You got to watch the players, the coaches got to watch their players in like full-on matches to see who should be their starters and what formations they should use and tactics they should use. And it was good on that side, bad on the side of players going full force before the season even starts and injuries galore. And it was, yeah, good thing they got rid of that.
Goodbye, Challenge Cup.
Goodbye, Challenge Cup. Now you're just a one match game cup, which is odd. But yeah, that's everything this week. I hope you enjoyed the home opener, and I cannot wait to continue watching this club and talking about this club with everyone. It's been exciting. 2-0, top of the table, top of the league. With that, we'll wrap things up for this week. You can watch us on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, and anywhere else you find your podcasts. You can watch our podcast on the Red Stars Report YouTube page if you want to see our reactions and the background, the flags, me covering Tatum's stuff, me pointing at Julia's framed jersey. You can watch all that on YouTube. It's exciting. It's fun. Subscribe to us wherever you watch and listen. Turn on the notifications to see when the next episodes go up. Make sure you're following us at Red Stars Report on all of our social media platforms. Like I mentioned last week, I started putting up more stuff on TikTok as well, so you can go follow us there. Don't forget to join our Discord page with the link in the description. Away matches are kind of the best time to be in the Discord, as we're not all at the match, just focusing on that in person. But each week there are people in there, regardless if it's home or away, that are in there throughout the match talking about them, which is great. But the next time that you'll see us, we'll be recapping the Orlando match. We'll see what's different. We'll see if anything changed. Hopefully it's another win, but you know, keep up with us on all of our social platforms to watch everything that's going on throughout the week, to keep up with the news between the episodes. And with that, we'll see you next week for more Red Stars Report.